Hello, hello, hello. Right. Didn't know what time it was. This is K4EW with the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is the frequency in use? I thought. Is there an emergency or priority traffic? Nothing heard. If there is an emergency or some kind of priority traffic you need to get in, just jump in and say so. If you have a true emergency, call 911 first. Otherwise, we can help you out here. Just talk to me while waiting for EMS to arrive. All right. For information on us, that you can see us on right now on YouTube. Either you can look me up on my call K4PEW, or you can in the search block on YouTube, or you can go to the Brain and Trusts, BRAINTRUSTS. You can look us up on our regular website, 146415.net. Real simple, 146415. Very close to our frequency without the decimal. And you can also look us up on Yahoo Groups, on MJ_SS. That's MJ_SS in Yahoo Groups. Or you can send me an email at K4PEW@ARRL.net. And we're normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. And that's on this frequency, 146.415 FM Simplex. The purpose of the net is to really just have fun. Just to meet and hear who you can hear and see who, if I can hear you well, and you can see it on the meter here. We've got a nice little meter on display on the YouTube site, so you can get a handle and hear what I can hear of other people as well as yourself. Sometimes you don't hear the other party, but you can hear it here on YouTube to hear what they sound like to me. And then you get an idea, say, well, maybe I should be able to hear that, and I need to get up every into. So anyway, that's the big deal. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events and activities in support of the local community. It's a directed net, and all traffic should be coordinated by net control. Let me give you my announcements first, of which we had a good breakfast this morning. I think there was 10 of us there. I don't remember the count exactly, but it was 10 or 11 over there at Courtney's. It's nice to meet and greet with fellow hams. There's also there's a ham fest coming up in Chattanooga. October 18th and 19th, and you can look it up on w4alphamike.net. It's W4AM. It's a call on the call. W4am.net if you want further information. And there's a Chattanooga ham. Well, that was the Chattanooga Ham Fest. The Stone Mountain Ham Fest is November 2nd and 3rd. That's northeast of Atlanta in Lawrenceville. You can look that up under. You just look under. Well, I think you can get up your Stone. It is. It's StoneMountainHamFest.com. Nice long name. Because you know how to spell StoneMountainHamFest.com. All one word. No spaces or underscores or dashes. StoneMountainHamFest.com. Is there any other announcements? Nothing heard. Well, let me hold on one second. Trying to make sure my volume is where it should be. Well, then we will start taking check-ins from somewhere. This is number 526, by the way, net number 526. And today we start up from the north. I had to look and see where I was last time. 526 and from the north. Take check-in starting north of Mount Juliet Road. Please come in. North of Lebanon. Is it after 8 a.m.? 8 p.m.? Anybody north of Mount Juliet, north of Lebanon Road? And then we'll skip right over to, is this thing on? Hello? Hello? All right, then we'll skip over to the west then. K4PEW at the Mount Juliet Simplex radio.
WY4G.
Hey, Jeff. Finally a voice. Nobody was there.
Well, I'm here, and you're, coming through loud and clear on where I'm at. So, I guess, we're out busy doing other things.
I think they're probably just late. North doesn't have too many. It has a handful, but the predominant ones are in the south or in the east, I think, mostly. How you doing tonight? Pretty good?
Yeah, still kind of trying to get over a sinus infection I've had, but other than that, I'm hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
Yeah, man. Infections of any kind stink. because it's funny how particularly infections, and if it's in your sinuses or in your teeth or in your throat, it affects you terribly, doesn't it?
Oh, it's awful. I'm still kind of congested. It seems like every year it hits me, like especially when it's been real dry, I had that high pressure, then then the change comes in, the low pressure hits. It just like right then is when it usually gets me. It's just I think just changing the atmospheric pressure.
Yeah, well, I think your job might contribute to a lot of that. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of the public, and you've got doors opening and closing all the time. That'd be a pain.
Yeah, that I have seasonal allergies, so that contributes to it. But that's what the doctor told me when I had to go get a couple steroid injections, and some other stuff to treat it. But it usually hits me about every year when seasons change like this. So it's just something to be expected, I guess.
The alternative is to wear one of those expensive gas masks.
I could, but that might obstruct my vision. But I'll try to take all the precautions I can to keep from getting ill or getting germs. I mean, I do get flu shot early, and keep my hands clean. I constantly wash my hands, use hand sanitizer, and things like that. But it only works so much.
Oh yeah, so if you're going to get a flu or something, it's well, even if you get the flu shot, you can get the flu, as you know. It might just be a different strain of it. I've been fortunate; I haven't had the flu in I don't know 4 or 5 years. So I'm getting the flu shot. I didn't get it that year, of course, but yeah, flu sucks.
Yeah, I tell you what sucks, getting pneumonia during summer. Back in I think 2005 or 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere in that area. I got a sinus infection and developed the pneumonia the week of July 4th. And that was miserable being so hot and humid outside and having that. I mean, that's the sickest I ever been that I can recall.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. My wife got the flu and it turned into pneumonia. And that same winter, I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. And I thought she was so deathly ill, I thought she was going to die. She felt so bad, and it was awful. Anyway, I appreciate. I hope you feel better. Not fun having all that stuff, especially after you already went through some stuff.
Yeah, but that last flu incident I went through, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I dealt with it okay. I said, a couple of weeks healing up, and I was, back my usual, regular routine. That was one of the least, I guess, painful or problematic surgeries I've ever had. But these sinus infections, that kind of stuff, it kind of, seems like the older you get, the harder it hits you.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, that's why you got to try as best you can to stay healthy and avoid all those things. It sounds like you're trying to anyway, like me. All right, well, very good, Jeff. That's Jeff. He's in Madison. It's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf in Madison, hanging in there. Through seasonal allergies. Seasonal allergies, man. I'm glad I don't have that. Anyway, you have a good one, Jeff. Who else next? A good signal, by the way. Who else we got? West?
KN4TJF.
Hey, how are you doing, Rick?
Doing good, man. Flashed a little under the weather this evening, but I'm doing okay. How are you?
Doing great. Had a great dinner. I actually mowed the lawn and weed whacked. It wasn't a big job because it hadn't grown that much, but still got to do. In fact, half of the job was just getting the leaves all chewed up.
I know. That's the thing around here, so we've got plenty of leaves, all the trees we have. So I'm going to keep it short. Hello, everybody on the net. Had a wonderful breakfast, and I'm going to say see you later.
All right, very good, Rick. Hope you feel better. That was Rick, Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot is over in Ashland City. Who else we got? West.
KM4YRF.
Hey, Michael. Did you make your brother feel bad? Did you?
I made him sick.
Yeah, he just up and said, "You make me sick."
Yeah, no, I think it was all that sweet stuff he had for breakfast this morning.
Oh, he had a bunch of sweet stuff. Did he have one of them cinnamon buns?
I don't know if he got one of those, but he had pancakes and some eggs, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys were hogging. Well, you were asking for pancakes when you were behind me. I didn't stick around to watch the glutton.
That was a good thing because I regretted it after I ate all that sweet stuff.
Yeah, no. I really shouldn't have had the cinnamon bun. I did, but I did.
Those things are really good, though.
Well, anytime you mix sugar, fat, and carbs in one little plate, what more would you have?
That'd be heaven.
Yeah, it's not heaven for the abdomen. Though.
You're right about that. But I worked it all off. I went and cut about 5 or 6 acres worth of grass and got home in time for the net.
You can work off a whole week's worth. You just use a sickle.
Yeah, the sickle wasn't available today, though.
That's right. Or if you had a self-powered mower.
Yeah, I'll pass on that, too.
Yeah, you wouldn't yet be done, I don't think, if you had a self-powered mower.
No, I'd still be cutting away until morning.
Whew, well, that would be a lot. You say 6 acres?
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 is what we cut with the little rider, and then my son cuts the rest of it with the zero turn.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to know. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that with a walk behind.
Oh no, it's way too much. And fighting all the leaves was a battle of itself.
Yeah, I know. I've been through that. But you know what's funny is they're all going to fall off after tomorrow when it hits 35.
You're probably right.
All right, well, very good. That's Michael. He's in Bellshire. That's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Good to have you in there, Michael. Good to see you and Rick this morning. Who else? West, please come on.
W4AWE.
Oh, I thought you said EWE. How you doing, John?
Maybe I did. Yeah, I was up on the roof actually, and just happened to time it good walking in here. It's starting to get rather cool outside.
Yeah, it was just like this morning. It felt pretty good. It was, I don't know, 40 something maybe.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, especially when you're doing some outside work, it's just fantastic.
Oh yeah, no. I was out mowing the lawn today, and I think some of the neighbors thought I was good. It was still cool, you know, and breezy, and I was out there in a sleeveless tank top, and felt good.
Yeah, I'm sort of used to that. Yeah, I ran to Walmart really late last night, right before they closed, and I find myself often going out weather like this wearing shorts.
Oh yeah, but you know, I got to tell you real quick. I forgot about this. I went out to Walmart. My wife's my wife works nights, and the one dog we had. This is about 5 years ago. The one dog, she liked to chase after the groundhog because he'd had a hole underneath. He had a den or whatever you call it, underneath the shed we had. And the shed's about, I don't know, 8 by 12, I guess, one of those pre-made sheds. Wood, the wood floor just sits on blocks, but I mean, it's got electric and everything to it. It's nice to listen. Anyway, so she's stuck. I figured she's stuck on it. She wouldn't come out, refused to come. And I didn't know if she was stuck under there. She was yelping. So I said, well, I only got one alternative. I don't know how to get her out because I can't reach her. I can't see her underneath the shed. So I was going to cut a hole in the floor. So I went over to Walmart. I got a skill saw. It's 12 o'clock at midnight. I went over and got a skill saw and a shovel. And the woman says, I don't even want to know what you're doing today.
Yeah, sounds like a scene out of The Sopranos.
It didn't look, I knew it didn't even look good walking in there with a shovel in a skill saw.
Well, at least you didn't ask for a gallon of bleach.
Yeah, that's right. Or lime. I don't think they sell lime at Walmart.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Everything else going all right for you in the radio world?
Yeah, just fine. I'm just bearing down to get these chores done, and that's going really well. I feel sort of like Lyndon Johnson. I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Right.
Yeah.
His light was, I ain't running for re-election.
Yeah, funny thing about It sure is easy to get into wars.
Yeah, I know it is. It's that old. You know, remember the old Brer Rabbit thing with the tar baby.
Yeah, exactly. But history and science tend to be the two subjects I guess we mostly, or not we, pretty much everybody.
Sometimes it's one of those things. It's like getting married, and you realize much later that it was the wrong woman.
Yeah, I had a friend who was announcing his, well, he wasn't really announcing, was mentioning to me that he was getting married. And I said, isn't this like number 4? And he goes, yeah. And I said, how long have you known her? And he goes, well, you know, a couple months. And I go, maybe try dating.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there's one thing you can say about it. He believes in marriage.
Well, indeed.
Anyway, yeah, I know what you're saying. I knew a friend of mine had been married, I think 6 times. I was like, why bother?
Yeah, but well, I'm going to go get back to work and let you continue down the list.
All right, very good, John. That was John in Belshire, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. Good signal as always, John. And yeah, finish that work, and then I'll come over and help you drink a beer. Who else we have? West, please come.
K4OEM. Hello, Paul and the gang.
You mean KD4OEM?
K4OEM. What did I say?
I thought you said K4OEM, but I might have misheard you.
I think I was talking to K4OEM. I was slurring.
No, you're doing fine. I think I'm it's like there's a short between my ears, maybe. I did the same thing with one of the other guys. Who it was? I thought he said it's short. Oh yeah, it was John. I don't know if he misstated or not, or I just misheard it. Anyway, so how you doing tonight, Mary?
Doing great. How about you, Paul?
I'm doing fantastic. We're I don't know if I told you, that Chihuahua we have, which we got a year ago. The woman had to give her up. She lives down in Scottsboro, Alabama. And she gave up the dog to a shelter who handles those kinds of things. I mean, they just a few at a time. This isn't like a shelter. She just handles them, finds perspective, and weeds out whoever owners are. We got her. She had to get rid of the dog because she had to move into like I don't know if it was a retirement condo or something. She could only have one dog, so she had to give up one of her dogs. I said, oh, gosh, you got to make a choice between 2 dogs, and the dog was 3 years old. So we've got her. And Chihuahua, you saw a picture of her in the thing. She is the sweetest thing, unbelievable. She's also a terror, when she wants to play, but she's the sweetest little dog. And the best part about that whole thing is that Shug, the new dog, she gets along with everybody.
I love that story. I didn't know there were organizations that took care of dogs that were displaced because of things like moves or going to assisted living or something like that. That's awesome. I think that's awesome. And I bet she's a sweetheart. Sounds like it. And I'm like you. How can you ever choose between 2?
That's what I said. After we got her, I said, my gosh, this woman gave up this dog? I mean, it wasn't like there was anything wrong with her. She's sweet. She's, she'll jump up on my chest and curl up on my chest. It's a Chihuahua. Not a teacup and a tiny one. Just a regular Chihuahua. She'd curl up, just lay on my chest and reach over and, lick my face. And she's just looking for attention. She just loves being close to everybody. And she loves being close to the other dogs. She's just a real sweetheart.
Exactly. And she would be so happy to know that you all have her.
Oh yeah. Oh no, she did. In fact, we made a point. We sent her some pictures. And she sent us back a letter just this week after we sent the pictures, because we had been for whatever reason, we just took our time getting over to it. She wrote us a really, really nice letter. One of those, just almost 2 pages handwritten. And she said that, I'm so glad you're taking such good care of him. Her name is Missy. The dog's name is Missy. And she says, my Missy. We're still using that term, my.
How sweet is that? I love that story. There are all kind of good stories like that out there.
Oh yeah, no. As a matter of fact, when Shug came from a woman who took in older dogs who were either abandoned or, in this case, the owner died. And if we didn't take her, now this is what's crazy. It's not crazy. If we didn't take Shug, she would have kept the dog. She wouldn't have taken it anywhere. And I forget how many my wife said she had. She had 9 or 10 dogs.
Oh my goodness. That's a handful. me to, that's more than a handful. That is crazy. It's hard for me to envision having another one. I mean, I could. If one came here and showed up on our porch like most all of our dogs have, except for Duchess. I mean, I just can't imagine just not keeping her here, or he or she, either one. But yeah, I don't think I could handle that
many. Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, and these are like our 5 dogs are well behaved usually, and you know, every once in a while I'll just call it an accident. We have to clean up, but overall they're just good dogs. They make a little bit of a racket sometimes, and they're a home security system for when somebody's at the door, because they're the first ones to know if UPS shows. But you know, they're great companions.
They really are. They're just part of your family. And that's just looking at me like, are y'all talking about dogs? Are you talking about me?
No, I'm sure that's true. Is Marty's there tonight, I hope?
Yeah, it's good to talk to you, Paul. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Very good, Mary. Good talking to you. Waiting for Marty, I think. K4PEW.
84 BQK.
Very good. That was a pregnant pause there, Marty. I wasn't sure if you were there.
I had to go around the chair to get to here.
Oh, man. You're supposed to be ready. Just ready, waiting, and with bated breath.
Well, we just drove in the driveway.
Okay. You're already in a rush. I got it. Well, very good. How are you making out there, Marty?
Doing fine. How are you doing?
Good. Although I got a later. As soon as I get off the net, I'm going to go work out on my wife and I are going to go have a little small gym in the garage, so we're going to go do some work out there. But that's I don't really mind it. It's just work.
Oh, we're staying healthy now.
Oh, trying to be. It's a try, because you never know when you're going to be sick. You never really know what the whole story is. You just try to be healthy. And I guess if I had a goal, you'd be lose another 25 pounds before I get really old.
Oh, you aren't really old.
I don't know. I'm 70. I'll be 71 on my next birthday.
Well, what have you been doing?
Well, besides mowing the lawn, and I got a fence contractor coming on Monday. I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday. But we got to put in a whole new vinyl fence around our yard, from the front of the house all the way around to the back. Not the front of the house, but the whole backyard. So it's a big project we have coming up, and I had another tree contractor come out, clearing out trees and getting ready for the fence. And what a pain! It's a lot of money too, so that's painful.
Okay. Have a good rest to your weekend, I guess. And talk to you later.
Yeah, very good, Marty. Good talking to you. Glad you're doing well. That was Marty, Kilo Delta 4, Bravo, Quebec, Kilo, and Mary, Kilo Delta 4, Oscar, Echo, November. And they're both in Bellshire, Northeast Nashville. Who else we got west? Going to the south then, south of Mount Juliet, south of I-40.
KN4 MPV.
Hey, how you doing, Jerry? I was writing down your call. Couldn't get your name.
Oh, doing good there, Paul. Kind of relaxed a little bit today. I started to make breakfast. I didn't probably wake up till about 10, so it was a little bit late to mosey up that way by then. But hope everybody had a good time there. Sounds like they did. I think you said about 10. So hello to everybody that was at the breakfast and everybody on the net. And hope everybody's having a good weekend and the rest of it there. Everything going good with sound like the dogs are going good there with you, Paul. Glad you do that stuff with the dogs, man. That's where all the dogs go. I was going to tell Marty's wife there that all the dogs that don't have homes go to Paul's house.
would think so. Well, it's we even have there was a dog. Because I was out doing something on the lawn last year, year before last. This dog, big dog, just roaming the neighbors. Oh no, not a dog roaming the neighborhood. Because usually you don't see that. And so I went over, I got his attention. He comes over, hey, how you doing? I grabbed him, realized he was pretty friendly, and so I brought him to the backyard and secured because we have a fenced-in backyard. Called and it was funny because one of those deals, I called the Mount Juliet shelter, and they said, "What's the dog look like?" And I told them what it was, and I said, "What neighborhood?" They said, "What neighborhood you in?" I go, "I told her which neighborhood." She says, "Oh yeah, that's Freddie." I'll call the owner. She says he gets loose all the time.
I copy that. I got my little park chihuahua. We've had a couple of chihuahuas that passed on, lived a pretty good long life. I think one of them was about 14, 15 or something. But they're good dogs. I like them. We got one here that's part chihuahua, part, I guess, Dotson, weenie dog, whatever you want to call them. And she looks like a chihuahua in the face and all, but she's got that brownish, tannish color, with two-tone fawn color, She's a mess. She's kind of like yours there. She's more chihuahua, I think. She'll run German Shepherd yard. They're not scared of nothing. Those chihuahuas aren't.
No, you're right. She doesn't, that's what we decided that once we had her, she doesn't know how small she is.
Oh, no. They if you had the braveness of a chihuahua, one of those bigger dogs, you'd have a real mess.
That's funny. She got loose, and she had a habit. That's why I got to keep very tight control of her because she likes to get loose. She's like a POW escaping, and she got loose, ran across the street, trying to. What the heck does she do? She starts chasing a UPS truck.
Hey, well, be careful! Don't let her get run over from there. But I know you like for them to have their freedom and stuff, and I understand all that. But nowadays, these people don't pay attention for humans, much less dogs. So anyway, I'll let you go ahead and get some more in there, Paul, and hope everything's going well with everybody. And like I say, have a good weekend, everybody. And 73, have a good one. K4MPV back over to net control. K4PW.
Yeah, very good, Terry. Good to have you in. That's Terry in Murfreesboro, Kilo November for Mike, Papa, Victor. Now we keep very tight controls on the dogs. Can't afford to let them get out of the road. All right, who else? South, please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Good to see you this morning, Larry.
Oh, outstanding breakfast this morning.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe I was wondering, would it matter where we met? Not that it matters ultimately, but I just wondered if we wanted to try something different.
No, it's good for me, but I mean, I eat anything.
That's what I tell my wife. She goes, "How'd you like it?" I said, "You know me, I eat anything."
All right, man. We'll let you get on with it. KU4SYB.
Yeah, very good, Larry. That's Larry Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, and he's in where the heck is he? He's in Rockville. That's what he is. Who else we got? South, please.
Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
Hey, Jim, you had a great signal tonight. Must be the great conditions, or you're down the street.
No, I'm at home. I'm running 50 watts. Checked my coax, and had a few issues this morning, but I think everything's squared away.
Well, did you think there was some problems with it?
Yeah, I was apparently wasn't getting good connection because I would key up and things would fluctuate. So yes, things were amiss.
Wasn't a squirrel problem, was it?
No, no squirrels. It was my error putting stuff back together after the last thunderstorm.
Huh. Yeah, well, connections can be a problem. I've had that same issue before as well.
But yeah, everything's good. Everything's working right. No fluctuation. Everything's nice and steady so far. Sorry we didn't make the breakfast, but it was cold and rainy up here, and we weren't leaving.
I got you. No, I understand. But can't make everything. There's no demerits. There's no guilt. There's no shaming involved in this organization.
And I didn't realize it was the second Saturday of the month till about 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's about the time to inform the XYL that we're going to breakfast.
Well, the alternative is you just don't tell her and just leave without her, and that's worse.
That thought did cross my mind, but I didn't do it. I just stayed here.
Yeah, you love your life, liberty, and happiness.
Yes, sir. It would have been all right. I believe I could have pulled it off. Got down there, had breakfast, and come back before she woke up.
I don't think that's a good idea. All right, good to have you in there, Jim. That's Jim, Kilo, Echo 4, Tango, Yankee, Juliet. When the wife's happy, everybody's happy. And he's in Woodbury. Good signal out of Woodbury. It's excellent. It's a nice, clear, solid signal. So I don't know how long you had that little problem, but tonight is good conditions for you. What else we got south? Please come in. Hey, how you doing, Scott? I ain't heard from you in a little bit.
Yeah, do a lot more HF now instead of FM or 2 meter, basically. I know I agree. Jim's signal from Woodbury is just beautiful tonight.
Oh yeah, it's like I said, it sounded like he's down the street.
Yep. So I'll let you carry on. Just make an appearance. I did see in your mail you're having we are doing this buy, sell, swap, swindle, trade, bargain.
That's the one. I forgot to mention that. We do have the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net that follows this net, and then following that we have the 144, 240 sideband net, and that, of course, is on that 2 meter frequency, 144.240. And if I look at it, I'm not sure we have too much time before we start those. But anyway, good to have you in there, Scott. That's Scott in Laverne, Kilo 1 Sierra, Papa Delta. Who else we got south of 40?
I'll jump in real quick. KK4 UTS.
Hey, good to hear from you again. How you doing, Carl?
Ain't doing too bad. I'm going to go ride around here and try to get to the top of one of these hills and see if I can get you guys from an HT. So I might be back, or I might not. Depends on how the wind blows. All
right. Well, your good signal's good as always from the house. So you're doing great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've just kind of playing around, trying to get my feet back in the pond there. So I'll turn it back over to the net. Good to hear you guys. Glad everybody's sounding well. KK4 UTS. Be monitoring. Listen.
Yeah, very good. That's Carl. He's over in Bladeville, Kilo Delta 4, Uniform Tango Sierra. Great signal. Might be back later on an HT somewhere around town. I can usually hear HTs from over in that area. I've heard Eddie from Bladeville, and that was on 300 or 350 milliwatts. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to copy you if you're not behind a lead wall. Who else we got south, please come in? South of 40. How about when we're going over to east, then east of Mount Juliet Road, east of Mount Juliet. Hey, were you copying Jim okay on that last transmission with Jim? Wes?
Yeah, I get you.
No, I was just going to say his signal was extraordinarily good tonight. It was like I said, it almost sounded like he was down the road.
Yeah, I can hear Mary as well. That kind of surprised me after I double take. But yeah, I feel bad this morning. Had a splitting headache, so missed the breakfast, but I'll catch the next one.
All right, well, it's only in 2 weeks away, so no big thing. We missed you. Robin was there. He made it as always. Well, not as always. It's not always there. Not everybody's always there. But anyway, very good, Wes. I hope you're feeling better.
Yep, aspirin took care of the job. All right, I'll be listening. KE4TWO.
Yeah, very good. That's Wes, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India over down near Watertown. Who else south or east, please come in?
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo.
I think I remember your name, don't I? Is it Richard?
Well, I forgot it myself, but we'll carry on anyway. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Having a good time as always. If I wouldn't have a good time, I don't think I'd do this.
I understand. Good to see everybody at breakfast this morning. Well, Wes, we did miss you. Hope you're feeling better. But I couldn't hit Mary and Marty over next to Michael, and I don't understand that. But anyway, Still trying to hear John down in Bellevue, but I'm not quite doing that either. He's scratching the surface, but not quite getting in the whole mix of things. But anyway, y'all carry on. I enjoyed breakfast and enjoyed seeing everybody. And sorry if I got too carried away talking about things. Talk to you when I can. KI4SIB, back to you.
Yeah, that's why we get together. By the way, you've got two built-in barriers to both John and Mary. One is that ridge that's over on your end of the line, because Mary's almost due west of you, I think. And of course, your antenna is not very high. So Mary and Marty are going to be difficult. And then, of course, you've got, I think, the ridge. And then John has a ridge on the east of him. So you got two ridges to get over.
Yeah, I'm lucky I'm hearing him at all, I think. The way the terrain goes down through there.
Yeah, no, I understand. You're doing fine. I mean, considering where you are and the conditions under which you have to have an antenna, you're doing great.
Well, I'm a whole lot happier with this 510 than I ever was with J-Pole. I do know that, because I'm hearing things and talking to folks that otherwise I don't believe I could have done.
Maybe we ought to change it. Yours was actually not a J-pole, as I mentioned. Maybe we should call it a virtual J-pole. It looked like one, anyway.
Yeah, well, there was a reasonable facsimile thereof that didn't work quite as well as it should have.
No, really. Like I said, J-poles are fine. It's funny how we default to that for some reason when we see that. Because somehow we think that's going to work so much better than a vertical. I don't know why. Ground plane vertical. I don't know why we think that. Everybody seems to.
Well, sometimes it's a matter of a couple of things. One, for economics. Two, a lot of guys sell that J-pole. In fact, I bought those J-poles at Hamilfest. In fact, I bought one of them out at Cedar Forest. But yeah, it's ease of accessibility and cost factor, I think, as much to do with anything on a J-pole. When you start talking about buying a Diamond 500, 510, or 700 or something of those nature, you got to mail order it and wait for it to get here, and it costs a whole lot more money and all the rest of that. So yeah, it's kind of a quick fix kind of thing, I guess.
Maybe we can talk Diamond into having either a lease program or rent to buy.
Yeah, good luck with that. Let me know how it works out.
No, it's really funny because it makes such a difference having like you said with the 510. It's an outstanding antenna. It really is very well made. And I would say it's so close to the X700 that it's like John couldn't tell the difference when he had his.
Well, I've got the one John had, and I'm satisfied. It's doing it well, pretty close to the same job. If I were in your location or anywhere, well, if I was somewhere that was like your location, we'll say, I'd like to compare notes, but we're not in a position to do that, unfortunately.
Well, if I wasn't so lazy, I'd go. Well, also I don't think I'd do it just because I wouldn't want. If somebody wants to lend me one and help, I'd take it down this antenna, put up the 5 and 10, and see how the net went for me.
Yeah, I don't think you'd see a great deal of difference. At least I would hope you would, anyway.
No, I don't think it'd be a huge difference. I really don't. Well, very good, Richard. Good to have you in there. Good to see you this morning. That was Kilo, India 4, Sierra, India Bravo, and he is just west of Lebanon. Who else east this morning?
K4,
Hey, you got a good signal tonight as well there. Your audio is great there. Right?
Well, I was had to resort to the beam antenna, use fry and make it over here and everything. So, well, probably not over here, but anyway, kind of lost scratchy on the band over here, so I resorted to my beam, and I was up there calibrating it and getting it pretty well calibrated under your location as I could with my Armstrong rotor type deal over here so far.
Yeah, you were bumping up against S8 there for a little bit of that, what you just said.
I guess everything's copacetic. At least we can hear each other. I've been hearing pretty much, well, I didn't hear everybody, but I heard the man and wife team out there talking, and when I was in and out on the beam and whatnot. So it's working. It is closer to the ground in my ground plane, but conditions are what they was. But yeah, it's kind of like getting a bigger antenna. It's kind of like buying a model. You can't get it together without no glue, right?
Oh yeah. No, but you did. You just bumped up above as you, for whatever reason, it varied between just under S7 and up to about S8 or maybe just a little above, but it fluctuated a little bit for I don't know what reason, conditions, because it was consistent. Consistently good audio.
Okay. Well, that's good. Let's know I ain't going in the wrong direction then. But anyway, I guess getting rid of that there, taking that Ringo down and 25 years of service. It was good while it lasted. It just needs a little TLC. I'll probably put it back up before too long. Just cause it's out here. But anyway, I'll let it go at that, Paul. Did a fine job, and howdy everyone out there can hear my transmission. If you can't, well, howdy anyway. Let Paul let you wave the hand to you for me. KE4 DEC 73s. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, very good, Earl. Yeah, the Ringo Ranger probably work real great when you get that new tower. That was Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Earl, he's over in Noreen, just east of the Cedars Lebanon State Park. Who else east this one? Hello, Stan. You doing all right?
Doing well.
I'm doing great. Work going good for you?
I haven't had my work yet.
Oh, you haven't? I thought you would get back to. So wow, you got. How much time did you have off then? A month?
About 5 weeks.
Wow, that's like well, I'd say it was a vacation, except it really wasn't a vacation. A vacation for you.
I was supposed to go back Monday. Uncle was by marriage died, so I'm going out to a funeral Monday.
Well, oh, that's right. You didn't have Columbus Day off, I take it.
No, we don't get the holiday.
Yeah, my wife does. Of course, she works for the federal government. Well, it's not really the federal government, but it is. It's the postal service, but they get the day off. But due to her schedule, she has to work Monday night, but she got Friday off instead. That's the way they do it. But anyway, everything else going well for you?
Pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, sorry to hear about a death in the family, but it's inevitable in every family.
Yeah, he's kind of battled cancer for a while. Like, he just gave up. And that was kind of the end of it.
How old was he?
2, I think.
Well, that's a pretty good long life. It's above average for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Well, one hooks up all back in the
Yeah, very good, Stan. Good to have you in. That's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. It's Stan. He's just north of downtown Lebanon. Who else we got east? And we're going to late check-ins. Any late check-ins? North, south, east, or west?
Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar, Quebec.
Hello, Dennis. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've been getting work done around the yard, doing weed whacking for the final weed whack of the year. Been working on my shack a little bit. I'm building some open line. Wait, what do they call open wire feed line? Open line wire feed. What's it called?
Ladder line, if you want, or window line. One of those two is usually works.
Well, I'm making my own 6-inch spread, 600 ohm, 14 gauge wire, separated 6 inches with PVC. My window line that I'm using is arcing or something, and it's just not handling the power I'm giving it.
Ah, wow. That's yeah. I saw somebody I knew made that open wire line using. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I saw it or I saw a picture of it. But he used got a whole bunch of cheap curlers from like the dollar store. Made them out of the separators with curlers, plastic curlers.
That's pretty funny. Got a lot of hair on that antenna.
I just thought it was funny that he just used his noggin to go, hey, this looks like, and it may be the way that it had attachments on the end or something like that. I'm not sure how it got attached. It was just interesting. Something cheap and made, that was didn't conduct anything. It wasn't magnetic. It was just a nice plastic piece. It was all the same size.
Yeah, so I bought 3 10
4-foot pieces of PVC, cut them 7 inches each, and then thank God my neighbor had a drill press he let me use, and I drilled holes on each end, a 1/2 inch in, so that's a 6-inch spread. Now I got the wire through all of them. Now I just have to get some cable ties to. That's how I'm going to secure them. You tie them off with cable ties. But I'm hoping that I'll have a little better luck with power handling for my HF rig.
Cool. Which antenna is that for?
I have a 160 meter inverted B, which is it's 130 feet a leg, so it's a 260 foot inverted B. And I've been doing a lot of research. If you feed it with ladder line correctly, it'll tune up on all bands. And I was there. I had it tuning up on all bands, but on some of the bands, the amp would jump out because, and I can't prove this, but I think it was arcing across the ladder line because the SWR meter would look totally normal, then it would jump to infinity and kick the amp out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so how high up is the center of that inverted V?
80 feet.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it sounds like a winner.
Yeah, I've been having some good QSOs on it, but how was the breakfast this morning, Dang? I slept till 8. There was no way I was going to make it.
Well, if you sleep in, you can't make it. It's hard to do that. No, that's good. How did it work at lower power? Did it work great on 100 watts or less?
Yeah, if I just I can run 200 watts on my Kenwood, and it works on all bands just fine. But when I use my linear amp, it doesn't like it. And there's this guy on Facebook who knows a lot about antennas. His name is John Fisher. And he said that ladder line just can't handle the high voltage. The thing is, I guess it's not wattage, it's the voltage that gets created by the mismatch in impedances. Even though it's efficient, the voltage is higher when there's a mismatch. So when the voltage gets up to like 2 or 3 or 4,000 volts, it arcs across the cheap ladder line.
Wow. Well, I guess you'll find out if it's going to work when you put it up.
Oh, I doubt it. Oh, maybe I'll have it done tomorrow. I got to go back to Lowe's to get cable ties. And then I got to lower all 3 inverted Bs that I have up. And man, that's a nightmare putting up 3 inverted Bs on one line going up to the top of the antenna. But I did it once, I'll do it again. Keeping all the cables straight is just like, you want to pull your hair out. But I'll get it. But anyway, thanks, Paul. Thanks for the net, and everybody on the net, have a good night. W9 BOQ.
Yeah, very good, Dennis. Dennis working on an inverted V for 160 with big homemade ladder line. Just open wire line. Nice. Who else? Anybody else laid chickens? Oh, I'm sorry. There was Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec and Dennis, and he's in Castellian Springs.
Appreciate.
Yeah, go ahead, Earl.
Hey, just Harbor Freight's having a great big yard sale, parking lot sale, or garage swap. Anyway, you might be able to pick you up a bag full of them there wire ties, a little bit less expensive up there at that sale they're having, instead of going to where you said you go just to put a bug in your ear. KE40 easy.
Yeah, I don't want to buy the cheap Chinese ones. I want to get the ones made by Hellerman Titan. I guess they last longer out in the weather.
Hey, okay then. Just so I run that by you.
Thank you very much. Back to net. W9 BOQ.
Yeah, you know what? I'm decided that we need to boycott China after all the crap that they pulled with the, kind of messing with us.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, it's hard. I mean, try to imagine if you tried to avoid Chinese mainland built stuff in ham radio. It's dang hard to do.
Yeah, Intech went out of business a couple years ago, didn't they?
They say they're still going to be in operation, but I haven't seen any models come out. And they do have some apparently available if you go to their website. I think they're taking orders for one of the new rigs. I'm not sure of that, but take a look on the website. I'll do it and we'll figure it out. Anyway, no, it's just I don't mean to say you can't buy Japanese, because I think I don't know what components inside the radios are made in Japan, or I know that most of the microphones, the hand mics, are made in China, and so much of the MFJ stuff is made in China, I think. So it's just amazing how hard it is to get stuff that's not in China. Anyway, I don't know if we'll do any good in. I don't know if they care. They sell so much stuff out of China. Anyway, anybody else late chickens?
Kilo 4 Whiskey United.
Hey, stranger, how you doing, Bill?
Good. How you doing there, sir?
We're getting right along. It's a typical Saturday night, getting ready for the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net, and then the 144.240 sideband.
Roger that. Yeah, I didn't get to talk to you up there in Bowling Green last weekend, but how'd you do up there?
Oh, just bought a little mag mount I wanted to get my hands on, and I enjoyed just meeting some of the people. It was great. It was a nice little ham fest.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good venue, I thought. They didn't have the tailgate or anything, but I really enjoyed it. It was I liked it a lot better than at that other center that they were at, the Holiday Inn.
Well, they must pay to be in there, do they? Did you find out?
Oh yeah, I'm certain they do. I'll do some sniffing around, see if we can figure out what they did different. But definitely it was a better venue.
Well, it's nice to have an air conditioned thing, and it was also nice. It would have been nicer had they had a tailgate, because it would have been, I'm guessing, more than.
Yeah, I was thinking of that tonight. We have a building right near the pavilion at the fairgrounds where we could actually have our indoor tailgate as well. A very large barn that's down there, real large, and we could have it indoors. I was looking at a Knoxville Fest not a Knoxville, Morristown, Tennessee Fest, and they had an indoor tailgate area. It looked like a pretty neat thing.
Well, I know that one of the guys at that club I used to be in up in Buffalo, they had a long-standing. They have theirs inside. I mean, they have it inside, and they get it for free from a church. It's one of their fellowship halls, and it's big enough to accommodate an indoor ham fest about the size of what you saw there, and tailgate would be out in the park.
Yeah, our biggest expense with as you know, at first year you were over there with us, and second, was the tables. I mean, the tables are just ridiculously priced, when we have to rent those. But, if you don't have a table, you don't have an event.
Well, you can just advertise it as bring your own table, BYOT.
Yeah. I'm afraid it might do BOB, right?
That's right. It might not be anybody showing up either.
I'll let you get back at it there, Paul. Good hearing you tonight. Good talking with you. And we'll try to do a little better. We'll try to get to checking in a little more.
All right. Very good, Bill. Good to hear from you. That's Kilo 4 Whiskey Uniform. That's Bill. He is in Possum Town over east of, I'm not sure where that is. It's closer to Lebanon than I am. Who else? Anybody else late checking? Got any lurkers, sandbaggers, lollygaggers, scanner listeners, SDR donglers, preppers, or what was left? Oh, yeah, the end-time survivals. Well, very good. We're going to move over to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle. Anybody got anything they want to sell? Please come on. Hey, Scott, go ahead.
Item number one. And still I've got one left, an Elenco hand mic. I cannot remember the model number off the top of my head. I don't even know what I'm asking for it. I'll have to say $20 for that one. Second item. Oh, and that microphone is untested also. Second item is a dipole antenna. It's a TDFD, or other known as a tilted terminated folded dipole. It was homemade. It covers 10 meters through 40. It's about 33 feet long, so it's for your compromised piece of property. And I'll take $50 for that one. that's it. K1SPD.
All right, very good. If you didn't hear, if you did not hear Scott, he's got an Alinco hand mic, and I believe that's the 8-pin one, isn't it, Scott?
Yeah, if you Google my call sign, or not Google it, search my call sign on qth.com or qrz.com under the items for sale. It gives better description. I have pics there also.
All right, very good. If you look up the Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta on QRZ, or what was the other one? What was the other site?
qth.com.
Oh, that's right. It was QTH.com. I forgot about that site. And he's got a Alinco hand mic. It's an 8-pin, $20, and a tilted, terminated, and fed, folded dipole, not an end, folded dipole. It works 10 through 40, 33 feet long, and it's $50. But you can see that on that. Look up his call on QRZ or QTH.com. Anybody else?
Got a late check-in.
Sounds like Mr. Sullivan. How you doing?
Doing fine, Paul. Don't have nothing to sell right now, I don't. But just now got in. Didn't know if you got to the buy, sell, swap, or trade, or swindle. And I thought, well, I done missed the net, but check me in, KR4AZ.
No, you're just a lot later than normal. That's all. We'll still take check-ins. We're still here, aren't we?
That's right. That's right. Don't say something about a lady singing, but I won't get into all that.
All right, very good. That's Tim with a late check-in. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu. I think I got that call right, didn't I, Tim?
Yes, sir, you did.
Yeah, my memory sometimes works pretty well. With a late, well, not too late, just a late check-in. Anybody else have anything that they want to sell?
How about buy?
Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, we were gonna get to that, Dennis. Was there somebody who else was in there with a kind of weak signal? Oh yeah, there you go. I got KK4 UTS on the HC. See, I can copy. Where are you located? In Gladeville area, you're talking about, right?
Yeah, you know what the tornado did a couple years back. So the Cedar, top of Franklin Road, right here by the Bridgestone plant.
Ah, very good. How much power are you running there?
It's 85 watts.
Yeah, very good. Is that the stock antenna on the HT?
Yes, sir,
Yeah, that's why I don't usually use the stock antenna. I use the 17-inch one, for 70 centimeters and 2 meters. They work great.
Yeah, we talking about the diamond model?
With either diamond or the MFJ one, they work great.
Yeah, I think we've only had this about a week. I think about in fact, I think basically like something. But yeah, that's it. So KK4.
Yeah, very appreciative. Thanks for checking in with the HT there, Carl. Have a good one. That was Carl on an HT over there near Gladeville, in Gladeville, working on a 5 watts. And I told him I'd probably be able to hear him when I could. But again, with an HT, you got to get it on the best antenna you can, or the longest one, the one that meets the requirement. Anyway, who else? Anybody else got anything? Well, I didn't hear the answers on anything else to sell. Who has got something they want to buy?
K4TYJ, the guy in the HT in Gladeville actually made it over here to Woodbury this evening. So conditions are pretty well tonight, Paul. KE4TYJ.
I'm telling you, man, your signal's it's like you're outside my window with the HT talking to me. It's unbelievable.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I don't know if Carl, if you're still there, they're hearing you down there, if you can believe it, down there in what's it called? Where the heck are you, man? Down in that terrible Woodbury. Man, the name always wants to escape my brain there. Woodbury. He's hearing you down in Woodbury in 5 watts. Anyway, anybody else got something to buy? They want something to buy.
I've almost got Jim at full scale up here in Memphis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's killer signal. I'm sure, Jim, you heard that Richard up here in Lebanon.
Oh, yeah, I have no problem with Richard.
Well, I got problems with Richard, but how's the signal?
Well, that's what I mean in signal, Personally, it's Richard.
Richard, you don't have to come back. I know.
I want to talk to Richard after the net anyway.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, no, he's it's nice. I'm sure he's thrilled he can hear you too, because his location is pretty good now, pretty darn good. Well, unless there's some real barriers out there in terrain. All right, somebody else had something they want to buy. Dennis, was that you?
Yeah, buy or trade. I want to upgrade my tuner. I've got an MFJ 994B, I think. Yeah, MFJ 994B, and I want to upgrade to a higher wattage model tuner. I'll buy or trade.
The 994 is what, 300 watt?
It's 600.
Ah, okay, that's a 600. You're looking for legal limit?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You can get a brand new one for about $350. The one with the crank arm on it.
I just want more headroom. I'll probably never do legal limit, but headroom is nice to have.
Oh, I hear you. No, I'm just saying that you want to get somewhere up. What's your amp? Is that what, like 800 watts or something?
It's 600.
Oh, I got it. All right. Well, anyway, let me put that out there. We've got maybe a swap or an outright purchase. I'm looking for a closer to 800 or 1,000 or a legal limit tuner. And he's got an MFJ 994B willing to trade and or purchase something big. Remember, he's got something in contact Dennis. That's I'll get the call right in a second here. That's Dennis W9BOQ, Whiskey 9 Bravo, Oscar, Quebec. Okay, no takers at the moment. What we ought to do, Dennis, why don't you post that to the Yahoo site so that everybody gets it. 82 people get it instead of 19 or 20.
Oh, yeah, I will.
All right, very good. That's a tuner. Looking for a tuner, legal limit tuner. And he's got a 994B, which is good for 600 watts. Willing to trade or whatever. Anybody else got something you want to buy?
KG4CXC for a late.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Good. How are you doing, man? Since everybody's doing the HT thing, I'm on the HT as well.
Yeah, maybe we'll do an HT night.
It's crazy. I'm hearing some signals on the HT that I didn't expect to hear. So there's good stuff going on.
There is, really. I was kind of surprised. Yeah, you're number 20. But yeah, where are you on the HT?
Downstairs. I just didn't run upstairs. I was watching you guys on YouTube, and I was like, well, I'm going to slide in at the end, and do the HT thing.
All right, very good. That's Chris, Kilo, Golf 4, Charlie X-Ray, Echo. Most people probably couldn't hear him, but he's over in Donaldson on his HT on the ground floor. Probably by a window. You by a window?
Yeah, it's for the best, honestly. You could probably hear me if I was on the couch, but why not? Walk over to the window. Thank you.
I understand. No, it's a good shot from Donaldson. I mean, it's really good, considering where you are. And there is stuff between us. I can't tell you what to do. I have to look at it on the map. All right, very good, Chris. Again, that's Chris, Kilo Golf 4, Charlie X-Ray, Echo. Really late check-in, but always welcome from Donaldson. Anybody else? Buy, sell, swap, buy, sell, swap, or swingle net. Anything else buying or selling? I don't know. All right, very good. Then we're going to move on to the 144.240 sideband net. That's upper sideband 144.240 in a second. Closing out this portion of the net. Unless there's one last chance for checking. Got nothing.
Late check-in.
Oh, wait a minute. What was the late check-in? I'm sorry.
WA4ZHI.
Oh, I was expecting to hear you earlier. You must have been out.
Oh, I had all kinds of chores running around to do.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but I have to be here. Well, kind of. I don't have to be here. You guys have done well when I didn't show up before.
Well, thank you for being there so we don't have to do it.
Well, I think you want somebody to volunteer to do it rather than have to do it, wouldn't you?
Well, you kind of have to.
Oh, yeah, I know. We want to keep it going at the moment, but I'm sure that somebody'd step up to the plate. There's several people with excellent signals. It's just whether they have the time and the inclination and the wherewithal to do it. But no big deal. Until that happens, I'm here.
Thank you very much.
Very good. That was James jumping in there. He's out here in Mount Juliet at Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel, India. And great signal as always. He's tied up with some chores and had to do a late check-in, so that makes number 21 tonight. And we're moving over. Is any other, one more chance? Okay, we just timed out on my finger, 3, 2, 1, and we're moving over to 144, about 240, upper side. 73, appreciate the check.
Wait, what?
Say again?
What's the frequency?
It's twice a week. Now, 144.240, upper sideband.
All right.
Man, read your emails, man.
What's email?
Extraterrestrial, man. All right, this is K4PEW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on the 144.240 upper sideband net. Taking check-ins. We'll start again from the north. Please come in. Whiskey 9 station, is that you?
Oh, sorry, I had my monitor on. Whiskey 9, Bravo, Oscar, Quebec.
Yeah, great signal there, Dennis. That's Dennis from Stallion Springs. Who's next? Up north? Going to the west? West of Mount Juliet, anybody?
Whiskey 4, Alpha, Whiskey Echo.
Yeah, I got you, John. I think I heard Michael. Was that you, Michael? I'm sorry, I doubled it.
Yes, it was. KM4YRF.
All right, very good. I got Michael there in Bellshire. Who else west? Michael, you got to get Rick a radio, man. All right, who else? Anybody else west? Nothing here. Going down to the south of 40. Please come in.
Going on, Paul. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu.
Very good. I got Tim here in Murfreesboro. Excellent signal. Who else south?
You want SPD?
Hey, Scott, you sound great too. Anybody else south? Anybody else east?
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu.
Also an excellent signal on this band as well. I mean, on this mode as well there, Earl. Doing great there, Noreen. Anybody else east? Anybody else anywhere who hasn't checked in yet? All right, very good. Well, let me give you the rundown again. That was me, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. And then we had Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec in Castellian Springs. That's Dennis. And Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. And that's John over in Bellevue. I think a word there from him. And Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Bellshire. Not to be confused with Bellevue. Michael there. Good signal too. Everyone has got good signal. Must be very good conditions tonight. Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu. Maybe it's because the front's moving. That's Tim down in Murfreesboro. And Scott, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. And Earl. And I think Scott's in Laverne. And then we've got Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. And he is in Noreen there, just by Cedars of Lebanon Park. And that's, I think, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Sounds good. The signals were very good tonight. I don't know if that's because a cold front's moving in. I have no idea what it was, or just because I mowed the lawn. But anyway, appreciate all the check-ins. You can hang around here, or I'll meet you over on FM, or we'll catch you later. Appreciate the net, and closing it out now.
Hey, Paul.
Yo.
You are dead on now. What have you done to your radio?
Send it to Yesu.
Oh, okay. Because usually you're about, I don't know, 0.1 or about 10 off maybe. And no, you're dead on it now.
Yeah, apparently they replaced a couple. I forget, it was 2 or 3 ceramic filters in there, and they also, it realigned it, and it was all good now. And they also replaced the display on it, which was starting to show them stripes on it.
And which radio is that?
That's the Yesu 897D.
Okay. All right, well, there. Well, they did it right.
Oh yeah, no, I noticed that too. And everybody on the net is right on the money, and that's very good signals tonight. Did you have the same experience?
Yeah, I heard everybody. Just not hearing everybody on the HF nets.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. How's it going on HF? What are you doing? Anything special over there?
Been doing a couple of 40-meter nets in the evenings, start about 5:30, I guess, and then